Are you planning to move to Arizona? These 10 things will help you prepare for your life in the desert. From scorpions to sunshine, Arizona offers amazing living. We have some of the greatest weather all year round, despite the summertime, great outdoor living, and a growing economy. But it's not for everyone. And here's what you need to know prior to making the move. Number one is the weather. Summers are extremely hot here in Arizona. Temperatures can reach up to about 115 degrees. And we've seen it even higher. This is extremely brutal for the months between about May through end of August, sometimes into September, that we're seeing temperatures above 100 almost every day consistently. This makes it really difficult to get outside and do anything outdoors here in the Phoenix area. However, one of the benefits to living in Arizona is actually the weather. If you drive about 2 hours north or even down to Tucson into their mountain range, you can get cooler temperatures in the 80s or 90s. My family loves to go to the Payson, Arizona area. If you go a little bit further past Payson, you have small towns like Strawberry and Pine, where the weather is going to be 20 to sometimes 30 degrees cooler in the summertime than it would be in the Phoenix area. We love to go up there to cool off, go camp with the kids, and really just have a really great time outdoors. Other areas that offer cooler temperatures are going to be like Flagstaff or Prescott, where you can just head a little bit north from the Phoenix area, and about a 1 to 2 hour drive, sometimes up to 3 depending on where you're located, you're going to be able to cool off in those cooler temperatures. Number two, cost of living. Arizona is cheaper than states like California or Colorado. However, we do have a lot of areas that are going to be even more expensive or similar to those type of states, similar to like Sedona, Arizona, or Scottsdale, Arizona, or parts of Phoenix, Arizona. All of those cities, dependent on where you land, are going to be on the higher end of the cost of living scale than other cities like Mesa or Santan Valley, Queen Creek. Make sure when you're making the move to communicate with your real estate agent and your lender and anybody else you know in the area to really find an area that's going to align with the cost of living that you're looking to live in. Make sure when you're making the move to do the due diligence to look at and communicate with your lender or real estate agent or anybody else you know in the area to really find a good area that fits the cost of living of what you're looking for. Number three, the job market. Tech, healthcare, and logistics are booming here. There's a lot of areas in Arizona right now that large companies like Amazon and Apple and battery companies are building large warehouses that are going to bring in a lot of jobs to certain areas. Even just out in my area in Santan Valley, they're building a massive warehouse that's going to be done in the next year that's going to bring thousands of jobs. This is going to help stimulate the economy and the housing market in Santan Valley and Queen Creek. And so we're going to see home prices go up in that area once that warehouse does start hiring and people start moving into the area to work at that plant. Number four is transportation. This is pretty straightforward when you're looking at a map if you're looking at moving here, but public transportation isn't necessarily a thing if you're going to be living 30-45 minutes outside the city. So if you're going to be living in Mesa, Queen Creek, Chandler, Gilbert area and having to commute to Phoenix every day, there's not really a good public transportation set up for that. So you will need a vehicle in order to drive. Now plan on the traffic to be rather heavy. Most of the highways here are always under construction. And so when you're planning your move, make sure to plan your commute as well. Communicate with your lender, communicate with your real estate agent to really get a good scope of what your commute would look like if you move from one area and have to commute to the next. Number five is outdoor lifestyle. From Flagstaff down to Tucson, you really do have a wide variety of outdoor living. There are so many lakes, there are so many forests, so many deserts that you have the opportunity to go fishing, to go hiking, to go boating, to go camping, all of these things within Arizona, and some only take a couple hour drive or 30 minutes depending on where you're at. Biggest thing is prepare for the heat. Dependent on where you go and where you're traveling or where you're going to enjoy the outdoors, make sure you pack plenty of water. Number six, a big one, is wildlife. A lot of questions I get is about insects and the wildlife, especially living out here in Santan Valley where it's a little bit more remote than other cities. Yes, we see a lot of scorpions. Yes, we see snakes. Yes, we see coyotes. A lot of these animals, a lot of these reptiles are going to come out during the day and the night. And this is something that you have to account for when you're moving here to Arizona. From the reptiles to the animals, realistically, as you're living here, you don't quite notice it unless you're in an area that sees larger quantities of them. Just the other day, we saw a coyote on its own running across the field on the way to school. This isn't something we're going to go and play with or go and mess around with. This is something that we were driving in the car and we just saw run by, and it was kind of cool. Same thing goes with scorpions or with snakes. It's something that if you see, you stay away from. This is very indicative of other states where if you see a skunk or a raccoon or any other reptile or animal, you're not going up and playing with it. You're staying away from it, you're being safe, and you're letting that animal live in its own habitat. Number 7 is water conservation. As we've mentioned, Arizona is very hot. That means that there are regulations around how much water you can use, and water can be quite expensive here because of that fact. Make sure when you're moving here, you understand your water usage and anything you can do to be more cost friendly when it comes to utilizing water. Number 8 is education. Education's a big thing here, I'll be honest. It was hard to find an A-rated school for my children, but my children are in an A-rated school in Queen Creek. I live in Santan Valley. I have to bring them to school every morning, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes from where I'm living to get them to school. So that means we have to plan to wake up early, make sure that routine gets done in order for us to leave on time to account for traffic and anything else we're going to see on the road. So as you're doing your due diligence, make sure that you're finding an area that has highly rated schools if this is important to you. If you have questions or if you have recommendations, reach out to me. Always happy to help in that regard. Number 9 is vibe and culture. Arizona has an interesting mix. We have cowboys, we have a tech culture, we have an influencer culture, a lot of different areas that you can actually involve yourself with, and a lot of different groups that you would be able to associate with and plan activities for. So much to do around Arizona, and there's also a lot of different cultures, a lot of different things to do here. Number 10, real estate trends. As we know, Arizona real estate is getting expensive. We're seeing markets very indicative of California or other high states like Colorado, Oregon, Washington. It's very important to do your research as you're moving here to find an area that really fits, again, your cost of living and what you're looking to pay. Sometimes home prices, rent prices, they're going to be out of budget. Make sure you do that due diligence. Speak with someone local like myself or somebody else that you know to really get a good idea of what am I going to be paying in rent or what am I going to be paying in a mortgage to make sure that it aligns with your salary and what you're looking to pay per month. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If Arizona sounds like your vibe and you're still excited to move here, I would love to hear where you're looking at moving to and chat through it a little bit further. Comment down below the city that you're looking at or cities, or reach out to me directly. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.